What's going on? It's your boy, Brother Ellen. I'm back with another one. And hey, do me a favor to go ahead to support me so that I can do this full time. Go ahead, give me a like for the algorithm, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you can get every new video, fresh, hot, new content as soon as I drop it. And also, I want to know what you think down below in the comment section. Tell me what you think, even if you don't agree or disagree, whatever the case may be. I want to know what you think so I can also engage the mindset out there too. Now, about this Diddy trial. Diddy, he beat the RICO charge, okay? All right. He didn't beat the case. He didn't get a clean sweep, but he beat the RICO. The most serious charges, he beat the RICO. He beat the sex trafficking. He did now that is a serious charge too, that he did get found guilty on because he can spend up a max of 10 years per charge, and they can run those charges consecutively, which means, let's say there's two. All right, so he got found guilty on two counts of transportation transportation while engaging in prostitution. Basically, he had prostitutes and or his girlfriends at the time take which is Cassie or Jane Doe, which many believe is 50 Cent baby mother. We don't know that for sure, but a lot of people are speculating that. Make of that what you will. But either he paid them, which there's no evidence that he paid them, right? The only people that were paid were the male gigolos, the male prostitutes, and they were paid by Cassie every time. There's no evidence showing that, as far as what I saw, and you can read the transcripts. I haven't seen any evidence of Diddy himself actually paying it, and that's where I think the window of appeals comes in for the defense. They will try to appeal that charge because why? Because the biggest indicator that we got that Diddy is probably going to spend some more jail time is the fact that Diddy is spending more jail time, is not walking free off of the 10 months of time served that he did in jail right now, as he got no bail. And the judge justified it by saying, well, I filed no bail at first. I don't see why there should be any change into allowing him to have no bail after the trial, which is total bullcrap, if you ask me, because he beat most of those trials. Yes, he's saying that the reason why he's not allowing him to go is because of his tendency of violence, and he doesn't. Basically, what the judge is saying is he doesn't want Diddy to start going after these people. But to me, that's why I say it's all bullcrap. It's all bogus because eventually Diddy's going to walk free. Diddy's going to walk free. He's not getting a life in jail for the RICO. They're not going to be able to stack up and run consecutive charges against counts of sex trafficking. So if you're looking at how much time he's getting, you can get a max of 10 years. But you got to remember, this is a relatively newly appointed judge under Joe Biden. This is a Biden judge, and it shows because one of the things that I tend to notice about a lot of Democrats and Democrat appointees or people that lean towards believing in Democrat view sets is that they tend to view things through emotion. Whereas, let's say, like a Trump appointee or a Republican appointee typically just looks at facts. They look at A, B, C, D, and how they coincide, and do they add up to tell a story based off of the data collected. And based off the data collected, he basically is a guy that participated in domestic violence, that also experienced domestic violence from Cassie, as the evidence has shown that they both used to fight against each other. Cassie's also threatened to kill other people if they had released the freak off tapes. The house was raided. There was zero evidence of anything, of any recordings of any sexual activities happening inside of the house. So all those rumors about the hidden secret rooms and the children and the freak offs at Diddy's house and all of that, there was no evidence at all collected, or at least presented. If it was collected, they didn't present it during this trial, which I don't see why they wouldn't. So all they had was two women, originally three. They said they had three witnesses at first, but then one just disappeared. So the best they could do was bring two women, of which their stories just were literally unbelievable. The jury didn't believe them, as far as saying that Diddy was this crime boss that ran Bad Boy Enterprises as a cover front business for doing sex trafficking, these prostitutes and women that he wanted to have these freak offs with, that consisted of just him, his woman, and a prostitute who he didn't even interact with really, besides the weird fetish that he had over there in the corner. And you can read the details about that. I don't want to discuss that nasty stuff again. But yeah, so that's basically what you have here. You don't have a crime boss running an organization that's a front cover for a sex trafficking ring. It's just not what they presented in the evidence. Excuse me. So, what with all of that, you just have to be, as men, you got to be very careful. And I'm probably going to make that a separate one. But to my men out there, at any time, especially if you gain wealth and status, at any time, a woman can say, you know what? I think it was that one night way back when that I didn't want to do it. You know what? I think I was coerced into all of this stuff. You know what? Yeah. That little kinky thing we did that one night, I didn't want to do that. You know, so at any time a woman can slap you with the RICO because she had a falling out with you. Okay? The justice system played its part. It's funny how when it rules the way that we want it, we say the justice system is a sham and all of that. I mean, when it rules the way that we want, we say, oh, well, let justice speak out. Let justice, hey, justice was served. But when it doesn't work the way that people want, it's oh, the justice system is broken and all this, that, and the other. But the same justice system you was rooting for, now you're saying that it's broken. Okay, all right. So the bottom line is, and I've seen it's been mostly women that don't agree with this verdict. They think that he should have been guilty across the board. They're saying, and this shows their lack of knowledge of understanding on a critical thinking level what the law says. They don't understand how can they be guilty of transportation, engaging in prostitution, but not guilty of sex trafficking. Okay, they're not the same charge. Okay, they're not the same charge. So what is the difference in it? Well, the difference in it is the transportation while engaging in prostitution can be totally consensual. Whereas, but let's say that they're doing all of that, right? But then, but Diddy was coercing them. Then that is also that, and it's also sex trafficking, because sex trafficking is basically the person is doing, it's basically a sex slave. They're doing it, and a matter of fact, the law is called the White Slave Act. The White Slave Act. Where basically that's what the person is a sex slave, and you're basically kidnapping a person, you're basically coercing a person, you're basically forcing the person to travel somewhere to do sexual acts across state lines against their will. And the defense just lambasted with text after text after text, showing that these women not only wanted to do it, but there were times where one of the women even had the freak off without Diddy even being there. So that just tells you. Now you're telling me, but he forced you to do all of this all the time. It's like it's not. It's not credible. It's not credible. It's not believable. They just did not believe Cassie and Jane Doe. All right. So, and a lot of these women influencers and women news anchors and stuff are saying, you saw the video. You saw him hit her and beat her. Diddy isn't on trial for domestic violence. Diddy isn't on trial for uh, battery. He isn't on trial for domestic abuse or whatever the case may be. He's on trial for being a crime a crime organization boss, and that's just not what it was. All right. So you can't witness somebody do a crime for A, and then take them to jail and charge them for crime B, and C and D, and A. So they got him for crime A, which is the prostitution. And even though, like I said, was he coerced? That's the biggest part. And that's why I think that the defense may be able to get something off the appeal. I don't know how far he wants to go. I don't know if he wants to take this all the way up to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court probably won't even take the case. But the only thing that I can see where he could probably try to get the appeal is maybe off of saying that he didn't pay anybody. All right, so therefore it's not prostitution. It's just all consensual sex at that moment. All right, and the judge is probably going to give him, based off of calculations, I'm saying he might get slapped with 7 years. Yeah, about 7 years. But we'll see. Maybe he'll run it congruently and just give him 3.5 or about 3 years. Most legal experts are saying 2 years, but at the same time, they were probably saying that he could have walked. So nobody really knows. Nobody really knows. But I'm gonna say, judging by how strict he was and all that, Diddy's probably gonna get about anywhere from 2 years on the low end, 1.5 years on the low end, up into and minus the time served, right? So 18 months minus 10, 8 months in jail, all the way up to like about 2 years in jail. All right, so this is going to conclude that. So go ahead, if you're still listening to this long, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think, support me. God bless. Peace.